Hey, Texas two-step. D-backs looking for a win in the finale of our quick two-game stop in Dallas. All the contenders in the NL West sputtering a bit these days, so the D-backs still with an opportunity to extend their division lead. Join us for the D-backs and the Rangers on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Globe Life Park, and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthew and Bob Brenly along the way. D-backs hoping for a split here in Dallas before it's off to San Diego for a four-game set with the Padres starting on Thursday at Petco Park. Our pitching matchup tonight, two starters unbeaten in their last four starts and with very similar numbers. Bob, for the Diamondbacks, it's the left-hander Patrick Korbin.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure how they're so close with their numbers when you look a little bit deeper into the numbers, but Patrick Korbin has been outstanding over his last four. He's a perfect 3-0 with an ERA of 2.73. He's punched out 34 opposing batters in those four games, walked only 2, and hasn't given up a home run in 9 straight starts.
Coming off wins over the Giants and the Phillies, so Korbin 3-0 in his last four. Yovani Gallardo 4-0 in his last four with a nearly identical ERA.
Yeah, the ERA nearly the same. The opponent's batting average very low. However, he's only struck out 12 opposing batters. He's walked 13 in those four games and given up 3 home runs. So I guess there's different ways to go about being undefeated in your last four.
Corbett and Gallardo, the D-backs and the Rangers. First pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona.
D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By the NASCAR Can-Am 500 at ISM Raceway, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money.
This season, D-backs home runs. Score free Jumbo Jacks, only at Jack in the Box. By Chaz Roberts, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By First Watch Restaurants, the Daytime Cafe. And by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today.
Diamondbacks split a two-game set with these Rangers at Chase Field at the end of last month. Tonight, hoping for another split in the finale of this two-game stop outside Dallas, where it's mostly cloudy. A little warmer than last night, 89 degrees, but not too bad. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, Jody Jackson with you. The D-backs' first trip to Arlington, Texas in 3 years. July of 2015, last time we were here. Texas won the opener last night 5-3. Goldie and the Diamondbacks look to even the score tonight. And here's the batting order brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealer.
John Jay will lead it off out in center field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base, or rather DHing today. Boy, old habits die hard. Goldie is the DH. David Peralta will be in left field. Eduardo Escobar down at third. Steven Souza Jr. out in right field. Ketel Marte at second base. Daniel Descalso at first tonight. Nick Ahmed at short, and Alex Avila doing the catching for lefty Patrick Korbin.
Well, Goldie, the native Texan, back on home soil. He grew up just outside the Houston area. We're just a smidge away from downtown Dallas.
And as the Rangers take the field, Bob, it's time for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, it is a Tuesday, and they did serve tacos in the lunchroom here today, and we know what happens to get tacos. So, yeah, hopefully the D-backs will put 5 or more on the board tonight and turn this into a Teal Taco Tuesday.
That was a good sign in the press room here. So I like how you put that together. That's nice work. Your Ram truck starter for Texas, the veteran right-hander Yovani Gallardo, now 32 years old. He hooked back up with Texas this spring. He's had a ton of run support, and despite an ERA that's almost 5, he's 7-1 in 9 starts.
Yeah, he has a 4-seamer, a 2-seamer. He'll mix those in about evenly. He throws a hard slider as his best secondary pitch. Also has a curve and a changeup. He'll mix it up. He's a crafty veteran out there on the mound.
E.D. Marshall Jewelers has a look around the diamond at the Rangers defense tonight.
Shin-Soo Choo out in right field. Delino DeShields will be in center with Joey Gallo over in left field tonight. Jerks and Profar taking over at third base for Adrian Beltre tonight. Elvis Andrews and Rougned Odor make up the double play combo with Ronald Guzman at first base, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa behind the plate, and Yovani Gallardo on the mound.
The crew chief calls the balls and strikes tonight. Jerry Davis is our plate umpire. Pat Hoberg at first base. Jeremy Rehack at second. And Brian Knight is the third base ump. Well, John Jay will lead it off. A scheduled off day for A.J. Pollock again tonight. And we are set to go from Arlington, the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. D-backs beginning play today, 10 over 500. And leading the NL West by 1 game over the Dodgers and the Rockies. Colorado actually percentage points ahead of LA for second in the division. The Giants are 5 back. John Jay, 275 and 3 homers, and we are set to go. Jay flied out as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning last night.
That Giants-Dodgers matchup tonight. A couple of lefties. Andrew Suarez against Alex Wood for the Dodgers.
Rockies are at Houston. German Marquez against Justin Verlander. A bouncer to shortstop, Elvis Andrews. The DH. It does take an adjustment to say that. Paul Goldschmidt. 283 hitter. He's got 26 homers. Just his second start as the designated hitter this year.
He kept a close eye on Goldie during batting practice today too, and he did take as close to an off day as Goldie will ever take. He didn't take ground balls down at first base. He kind of hung around the batting cage, took his cuts in BP, and then just started mentally preparing for every at bat in the ball game tonight. But a little physical back off today for Goldie, which I think is a good thing.
Well, he's been rolling lately. 2 more hits and a stolen base last night. He singled twice and scored a run. Right now riding a 7-game hitting streak. And this is a fly ball deep to left field, and that ball is gone. 1-0 D-backs. Don't mess with Texas.
DH in this case stands for designated hammer. He got a pitch up around his shoulders and just tomahawked it out of here to left field.
That ball was crushed.
We've seen him do that a little more often recently. Pitches up in the zone. He really lets it fly, barrels that one high in the air, just over the out-of-town scoreboard to spot the D-backs to a 1-0 lead.
Jumbo Jack reject. Jumbo Jack tomorrow. Jack in the box with the purchase of a large drink. David Peralta bats third. David celebrating his 31st birthday today. 302 and 21 home runs. D-backs put up a 2 spot in the top of the first last night against Bartolo Colon. And they strike first again tonight. 3rd consecutive game the Diamondbacks have scored in the top of the first inning. David had an RBI single last night. And 3 times in the ball game last night he hit the ball the other way into left field. Fastball up and away, 3-1. Escobar on deck. All four. Gallardo has won each of his last 4 starts. He's lost only once as a Ranger this year. And Texas has lost only once in his 9 starts since he joined the club in the middle of June. So he's been something of a good luck charm for the Rangers. Eduardo Escobar hitting .278. He's got 17 homers. In the cleanup spot again tonight. There's a fastball from Gallardo. Escobar last night 0 for 4 after he homered Saturday and Sunday at Cincinnati. Just the 3rd time he's gone without a base hit since he was acquired from the Twins.
You talked about Gallardo's last 4 starts, perfect 4-0. A 5-0 win over Cleveland, 11-2 over the Astros, 17-8 over Baltimore, and 11-7 over Seattle. So he may be the good luck charm, but he's the guy that's really been riding a lucky streak with the offense putting up big runs behind him.
Here's the 0-2. Yeah, the Rangers have scored double-digit runs 5 times in Gallardo's 9 starts this year, including each of his last 3 starts. So to say he's had a lot of run support would be a massive understatement. Gallardo throws a fastball, sinker, slider that in one sense are kind of all the same pitch. He throws those 3 75% of the time. But there's almost no velocity difference between them, which is very unique. Fastball's at 91. That's a hard slider at 89. So there's almost no velocity differential between his fastballs and sliders. In fact, the smallest in baseball. He will land that breaking ball for strikes, but it's not really a swing and miss pitch for him. He is by no means a strikeout pitcher. Certainly not like he used to be in his Milwaukee days. Ground ball off the side of the mound. Odor. Andrews turns it. But the Diamondbacks strike first. Number 27 on the year for Goldie. Patrick Korbin coming up from Arlington, Texas. Truck starter tonight for the Diamondbacks. 9-4 with a 3.15 ERA, and Patrick comes into this one 3-0 in his last 4 starts.
To say he's been good is an understatement, and as I mentioned briefly in the open of the show, he has not surrendered a home run in 9 consecutive starts. Everything has been down, down, down. The slider by far his best pitch, but the fastball has been very serviceable for him.
Shin-Soo Choo will lead it off for the Rangers. He was the DH last night. He's out in right field tonight. No shift for the D-backs, but Ahmed, the shortstop, is shaded over a bit toward the second base bag, almost up the middle. And that fastball is high, 1-0. Chu hitting .275. He's a 20 home run man again this year. The 6th 20 homer season of his career.
But Chu really emphasizes coming down softly on that right foot, the front foot. He's up on his toe, and then when he takes his step right there, he's still up on his toe. Very light on that front foot.
You forget how long this guy's been around. 14 years in the big leagues. He's 36 years old now. An all-star this season for the first time in his career. Bounces it to first and foul. Let's take a look at the Rangers batting order tonight. That's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Shin-Soo Choo leading it off out in right field. Rougned Odor at second base. Elvis Andrews at shortstop. Jerks and Profar at third base tonight. Robinson Chirinos, who caught last night, will be the DH tonight. Joey Gallo in left. Isaiah Kiner Falefa in doing the catching. Ronald Guzman at first with Delino DeShields in center field, and right-hander Giovanni Gallardo on the mound.
That's a base hit to center for Chu. E.D. Marshall Jewelers has a look around the diamond at the Diamondbacks defense.
Jay in center tonight. David Peralta in left. Steven Souza Jr. over in right field. It'll be Escobar and Ahmed on the left side of the infield. Marte and Descalso on the right side tonight, with Alex Avila behind the plate for lefty Patrick Korbin.
This might be a good matchup for Patrick. Rangers have a lot of their best bats hitting from the left-hand side, like Rougned Odor. .272, 14 home runs. D-backs now have the full overshift on. Ahmed, the shortstop, on the first base side, is second. Fastball's in, 1-0. StatCast AI powered by AWS. There's a look at the D-backs defense. Descalso at first, Goldie the DH today. Fly ball left field. David Peralta is under it. Chu back to the bag at first, 1 out.
Can't always feel it here in the press box or even down at field level for that matter, but there's a lot of wind up top tonight. We were talking about the flags during batting practice really whipping. David had to adjust a couple times before finally camping underneath that one.
It is blowing in hard, straight in from right field, but given the architecture of this park, you're never quite sure what that means exactly. Sometimes the wind spins around and blows back out in the opposite direction of those flags. Elvis Andrews, the shortstop, 286, 4 homers. He singled and scored a run last night, 1 for 4. Breaking balls, a strike, 1-1. Andrews has a 23-game home hitting streak at Globe Life Park, still going. In fact, he's reached base safely in every home game he's played this year. But don't forget, he missed much of the first half of the year with a fracture in his right elbow. Missed about 60 games, was out until the middle of June. Got hurt just a week or two into the season.
Well, that's one way to endear yourself to the home fans, is to be on base every time they come out here to watch a Rangers game. How could you not like this guy? He's got to be a lot of fun to watch on a daily basis. We've talked about the interplay between he and Adrian Beltre over at third base. It seems like the two of them are on their own little island over there on that left side of the infield, and they have a good time.
Elvis Andrews now in his 10th major league season, all with Texas. Two-time American League All-Star. There he is on their all-time hits list. last year, 20 homers, his first career double-digit home run season. He's got a big contract, $120 million, but he can opt out after this year and hit the free agent market. But he says everybody knows he loves it here in Texas. There's a swing and a miss, and Korbin slider gets his first strikeout.
Now, hopefully the first of many tonight. As you said, a lot of the powerful bats in this Rangers lineup hit from the left side of the plate, and that slider should play really well against those left-handed hitters tonight.
No, Adrian Beltre injured his hamstring late in last night's ball game, so it's the switch-hitting Jurickson Profar at third. And in the cleanup spot, 246. Those 13 home runs, by far a career high for Profar. Chu still at first, 2 outs. Korbin bounces the slider up there. Beltre had to leave. He strained his left hamstring, scoring on that Chirino single in the 8th inning last night. Beltre has been forced to the DL twice already this year by that same left hamstring problem. There he is. Once in April and again in May. Flared up again late in the ball game last night. Try the backdoor slow curveball at 69 and missed. It's 2-0. Didn't miss by a whole lot, though.
Now, and he missed in his favor. Tried to nip that outside corner, and rather than leave it over the heart of the plate where it might get whacked, he made sure to miss even farther away from that outside corner that time.
Fastball is low. It's 3-0. The big bat in the Rangers lineup last night was Robinson Chirinos, and he's the on-deck man. A 3-run homer and RBI single for Chirinos last night. Got the 3-0 fastball strike call from Jerry Davis. Even though that one almost spun Profar around. We'll take it, 3-2. We may have a discussion about robot umps later in the game, because that came up in Chicago today and got somebody ejected.
Yeah, probably not a good topic of conversation for the home plate umpire that has recently rung you up on a non-robot strike.
Korbin got the call on 2 inside fastballs. Now it's full. Descalso behind Chu at first. There he goes. Profar punches it into the glove of Descalso in fair territory. He steps on the bag and completes the out. Korbin strands the leadoff single. It's 1-0 Diamondbacks in Texas.
From the baseball stadium, Steven Souza Jr. over there as part of our D-backs group that was getting the tour, checking out the locker room. It's an amazing, just massive structure over there. And Steven got out on the field, the brand new turf that they put down there. And, you know, he was a standout baseball and football player in high school, so he did get out there and run a little bit of a route. Caught a pass, so we had some fun. We talked fantasy football, guys, because he's got a charitable event going on here, and it's called bigleagueimpact.org/Arizona. So anyone interested, you go to bigleagueimpact.org/Arizona, and it's a fantasy football league and quite an event that you could be part of with A.J. Pollock, Nick Ahmed, and Archie Bradley.
That's right, Jody. That's coming up, I believe, when we're home against the Mariners. You can be in a fantasy league with some of the Diamondbacks if you're a fantasy football guy. I know a lot of the players on the ball club are big fantasy football enthusiasts. Steven and Nick have been organizing that. You and I will be there for that event. Looking forward to it. And Steven was a very highly sought after high school football player in Washington State. That's a rocket into center, a base hit for Souza.
What a nice, quick, abbreviated swing that time from Souza. Didn't get too long. Saw that pitch up in the zone, and a nice quick swing. It looked like that ball was knuckling back up the middle of the field. That's a pretty good sign that you squared it up.
Well, Yovani Gallardo, despite his success in terms of the record, has not missed a whole lot of bats this year. Ketel Marte, 248, 10 homers. Jurickson Profar in a couple of steps at third. Fastball upstairs. Ketel's now gone hitless in his last 4 games. He is 0 for 15. Coming right off his 7-game hit streak earlier this month. Dave McKay coaching at first. Having a real close look at Gallardo's move over there.
Dave McKay has seen an awful lot of Yovani Gallardo over the years. When McKay was coaching in Chicago and St. Louis, Gallardo was pitching for the Brewers in that Central Division. So if there's anything to be gotten, Dave McKay has seen it by now.
And Gallardo, a longtime Diamondbacks nemesis, 13 career starts against the D-backs. He has gone 7-2. With a very impressive 2.37 ERA against the D-backs. Most of that with the Milwaukee Brewers, of course. 1-1 on Marte. And that's knocked into right center field. Souza's on the run. Chu over to cut it off. They'll stop Steven at third. It's a double for Ketel Marte.
Two really nice swings to start this inning. Steven Souza Jr.'s quick stroke to drive the ball up the middle, and Ketel Marte with a nice easy swing reaches out, hooks that ball back to the gap in right center field. Almost snuck it by Chu into the gap completely. Steven Souza has to be held up at third base when that ball was on its way back to the infield cleanly.
So second and third, nobody out. Already up 1-0 after the Goldie homer in the first. And here's the first baseman tonight, Daniel Descalso. Descalso, 257 and 10 homers. He was the DH last night. He walked and scored a run. One and one. Daniel, 8 games at first base this year, including 3 starts. He played about 90 innings at first base last year for the Diamondbacks, so it's not that big a deal for him. He didn't go, Brian Knight. It's 2-1.
Well, of course, there is no such thing as an automatic RBI, but this is about as close as you get to it. If he hits it anywhere on the infield on the ground other than right back to the mound or right at Profar at third base, it should be a run.
Profar's toes on the grass at third. That one's low. 3 balls and a strike. Ahmed on deck. Goldie's 27th of the year has given the D-backs the early lead. Descalso can add to that right here.
Goldie probably feels a little bit lost. A guy that's involved in both sides of the game, offense, defense, base running, everything you do on a baseball field. And today he's reduced to just being a hitter.
Funny, his career batting average as the DH is only .208, but that was his 3rd homer as the DH. So there has been an upside for him. 3-2 on the ground to first. Guzman will watch Souza cross the plate with a 2nd run. Marte in at 3rd.
Nice job by Daniel Descalso. I mean, he's such a veteran hitter. He can roll over and hit a ground ball to the right side. If you wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning, he can hit you a ground ball to the right side. Gets that top hand involved, makes sure to get it over to that right side. The Diamondbacks tack on another run.
Rangers infield in now. 1 out. Marte at 3rd for Ahmed. Nick hitting .242 with 16 home runs. Tried to check. It's 0-1. Nick 0 for 3 last night. That snapped a 4-game hit streak for him. Here's a look at the Texas defense. Everybody in, toes on the grass around the infield. Popped up first base side. Odor's over there. It's drifting on him. Marte about a 1/3 of the way down the line in case it dropped in. That's the 2nd out. And the batter is Alex Avila.
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Avila behind the plate tonight, 171 and 5 homers. Already his 3rd start on this road trip. Rangers infield shifts over toward the first base side against him. Andrews, the shortstop, almost right behind the bag at 2nd. Breaking ball misses away, 1-0.
A little more work for Elvis Andrews tonight with Jerks and Profar playing third base and not Adrian Beltre. Before that first pitch to Alex Avila, Profar looked over to Andrews and asked him, will this guy bunt? He needed to know how close to the bag and how shallow he needed to play for a left-handed hitter.
Got to do some quarterbacking in that infield.
Yep.
10-year veteran.
These 2-game series really mess me up. Usually it takes me 2 games just to figure out where to look on the scoreboard to find the information you're looking for, and then we're out of town. By the time I figure it out, we'll be in San Diego.
Yeah, 4's too many, 2's not enough. That one is low. John Jay, the leadoff man on deck, 3-1 on Avila, the number 9 hitter. Down the line in left, but slicing out of play. Been a strange season for Yovani Gallardo. He signed with the Brewers in December. Was released at the end of spring training. Reds picked him up, but he was quickly sent to their minor league system and left Cincinnati. Rangers brought him in on a minor league deal in the middle of April. Gallardo made 10 starts with their AAA club, joined the Rangers rotation in the middle of June. And he strikes out Avila, foul tip. Tyner Falefa hangs on. D-backs add one more. They lead it 2-0.
I played infield my whole life, and then when the Nats switched me to the outfield, it was so relative to me because a ball hits, you have to have a great route towards the ball. In football, you practice your routes and being as fine as you can. And, you know, obviously tracking down the baseball and running was so easy for me to just, like, translate it.
Cup of coffee coming up, the debut episode this year with Steven Souza Jr. Sunday after our game against the Padres on Fox Sports Arizona. Robinson Chirinos, the DH tonight for the Rangers, looks at strike one. Chirinos, 223 now with 16 home runs. That's one shy of matching his career high set last year. A big night last night. He had a couple of hits, including the 3-run homer that was the big hit in the ball game. He knocked in 4 runs.
That was so unusual to see Zach Greinke give up a multiple-run homer. We've talked about it repeatedly throughout this season. He gives up homers, but usually they're solo blasts. Last night, Chirinos got him for a 3-run bomb.
Greinke's now lost 3 straight starts. Chirinos does not usually DH for Jeff Bannister, only his 3rd time DHing this year, but he's swinging a hot bat. They want him in there tonight against the left-hander Korbin. Got him to pop up behind the screen. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a risk when you're only carrying 2 catchers on the roster, and you use one of them as the DH. Now there's a possibility, should something happen, that Chirinos would have to go behind the plate, and that's when Jeff Bannister and the Rangers would lose their DH, and the pitcher would have to hit for himself.
Joey Gallo on deck.
I'm sorry, partner. I was just going to say, you can substitute for the designated hitter. You can pinch hit or pinch run for the designated hitter, and the new player becomes the designated hitter. But when you insert them into the game at a position, that's when the pitcher has to hit.
Ahmed collects that one. 4 in a row retired by Korbin. Well, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I've kind of been looking forward to this all day. Joey Gallo versus Patrick Korbin. Now Gallo's at 202. Tops on the Rangers, 31 home runs and 71 RBIs. And it'll be interesting to see how Gallo does against the slider from the left-hand side. Lefty on lefty here. He drops that one right at the knees for a strike. No hitter in baseball has swung and missed lefty sliders more often than Joey Gallo. But he has hit 5 home runs off those pitches, so he's very much an all or nothing guy in a matchup like this.
It took a while to finally get the appeal down to Brian Knight there. They had to get a new ball into the game and get some new balls from the ball boy over on the first base side. But eventually Jerry Davis does appeal down to Brian Knight, and they call that second pitch a strike.
Yeah, they were trying to get Jerry Davis's attention down there. Hey, look at third. Finally did it. It's 0-2. 3 D-backs infielders on the right side against Gallo. Fastball's low.
I think given everything you said about Joey Gallo on the left-handed slider, be very careful when you do throw him a fastball. Make sure it's just for show, somewhere he can't get to it. Like that. Off the plate, way inside.
Now, if you want to go back away with the slider, he's sort of set up for that right here, isn't he?
Yeah, that fastball should just be a show-me pitch against Joey Gallo.
And he waves at the slider and strikes out. Second strikeout for Patrick.
Well, just as we expected, first pitch slider, called strike right there at the bottom of the zone, comes right back with another one, gets the check swing that time. Then he misses off the plate inside with a couple of low 90s fastballs to set up strike 3 on a slider, low and away. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
Well, here's a player you might like a lot. It's the rookie, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. 268 batting average, 4 homers. He's a good-looking young player at 23 from Hawaii. Rangers' 4th round pick out of high school in Honolulu 5 years ago. And throughout his minor league career, he's been basically a shortstop and a second baseman. Up with the Rangers this year, he's seen a lot of time at third, but lately they've turned him into a catcher. Something that's relatively new for him. He's done it a bit in the minors, not a whole lot though. But more and more often he's seeing his starts behind home plate as the backup to Chirinos. And we've seen that with guys like Tony Walters in Colorado.
Yep.
Infielders, Austin Barnes is another one with the Dodgers. Infielders converted into catchers.
You got to believe the hands and the hand-eye coordination really would play well going from middle infield to behind the plate. Blocking and getting off quick throws to second base may be something he'll have to work on a little bit, but apparently they like him behind the plate.
17 games since the All-Star break, 11 starts, most of them as the catcher. This is slicing toward the line. Here comes Souza. Look out. And he runs it down. A 1-2-3 second for Korbin. 2-0 Diamondbacks.
travel tomorrow. Valley Toyota Dealers presents Let's Go Places. We're off to San Diego tomorrow. A 4-game set against the Padres at Petco Park. Starts on Thursday night. That'll be Clay Buchholz against Jacob Nix. After that, Robbie Ray, Zach Godley, and Zach Greinke. That, by the way, is the new ballpark, the new Rangers Park that is going in on the far left of your picture there. Jerry's Football Palace is on the far right. And we are basically across the street from all that. That's all taking place behind us here at Globe Life Park. John Jay, the leadoff man, leads off the third against Yovani Gallardo. Jay grounded out to lead off the ball game. He's in center tonight. An off day for A.J. Pollock. Yeah, the new ballpark in Texas is going to be enclosed and will have a roof, which frankly they need here. Yes, between indeed the humidity, the heat, and the thunderstorms. It's probably long overdue. This is a really nice ballpark and has been for a while, but this is one of the places where you kind of need to play indoors at times. Yeah. We were talking to some Rangers folks today. They have a really tough time getting people to show up for day games because it's just so hot and unbelievably humid. But this is a lovely ballpark. That's a fair ball for Guzman at first. Gallardo covers one away. Goldie homered in the first, is 27th of the year.
All fastballs this time from Gallardo. First one off the plate away at 92. Misses right out there again at 91. And then up above the top of the strike zone at 91. And Goldie just clubbed it out of here to left field. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. Throw another one up there at the top of the zone. See what happens.
So Goldie now with an 8-game hitting streak. He served as the DH only one previous time this year. That was May 26th at Oakland. And he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So a different story here tonight, obviously. There's a strike, 1-1.
We talked about it a little bit before. For a guy that's so involved in the game like Goldie is, whether he's playing defense, whether he's in the dugout, whether he's at the plate running the bases, I would imagine it's really hard for Goldie to get into a rhythm with the game. And every game has its own rhythm, some better than others. And you know, just being the DH, walking up there 4 times a game, that has to be so unusual for him.
Checks on a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Goldie's home road splits this year a little bit jarring. He's been 100 points better away from Chase Field in terms of batting average. The slugging percentage goes up 300 points on the road. You see the home run difference right there. Sends this one out to right center, and that's a base hit. Goldie 2 for 2. His 5th multi-hit game in his last 8. He is red hot right now.
The very description of the position he's in tonight, designated hitter. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Just get a hit every time up.
Let's not overcomplicate things. A 1-out base runner for Peralta. David walked his first time up tonight. Celebrating his 31st birthday today, the freight train. Also Clay Buchholz's birthday today. Clay starts Thursday night at San Diego. See DeShields in center, couple of steps over toward left center field, and that's right where David hits it. Goldie back to the bag at first, 2 outs. Cleanup man Eduardo Escobar. Escobar grounded into a double play to end the first. Escobar, a career American leaguer, has never really hit much in this ballpark. 13 games here. A .227 hitter in Arlington. He's homered here twice. Lays off a fastball well outside, 1-1. Varney Gallardo has lost only once as a Ranger this year, but he trails it 2-0. Bounced again to second. Odor has it. And they strand the 1-out single. Bottom third coming up from Globe Life Park. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks. High school football teams in the nation collide. Two-time defending Arizona State champs Chandler head to California to face Corona Centennial. It's coming up Friday, 7:30 on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. You can find your Plus channel listings at foxsportsarizona.com. This is high school football country, certainly.
Oh, yeah.
Clear eyes, full hearts. Ronald Guzman, the first baseman. 246 and 13 home runs. Lifts a lazy pop up behind third for Escobar. 7 straight retired by Korbin. Delino DeShields bats ninth as center fielder. 208 hitter. He's homered twice. DeShields just came back to the Rangers Sunday after a stay on the 7-day concussion DL. He was out for 9 games. Flied out twice in the ball game last night. There's ball 1. DeShields has had a tough summer. His batting average since the end of June is .115. I know you want to get off the interstate, but he's going the other way.
Yeah, he's approaching secret agent territory.
00. Fastball's in there on 2-0. Patrick, a winner in his previous 2 starts. He beat the Giants and the Phillies on the last homestand.
Trying to bunt his way on. That one's foul. Korbin dominated Philadelphia. That was last Wednesday. 7 1/3 scoreless, only 4 hits allowed. He did not walk a batter. He had 9 strikeouts. Korbin right now 3rd in the National League in strikeouts, behind only Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom. Trying to get him to bite at that fastball off the plate. Now it's full 3-2 with Chu on deck. In the air, center field for John Jay.
Today, after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACS50 at papajohns.com.
Well, Shin-Soo Choo led off the game for Texas with a single. Korbin has retired every Rangers batter since. And here's Choo with 2 outs in the 3rd. There's that first pitch slider. 0-1. Shin-Soo Choo is a .240 hitter against lefties this year. He's homered twice off left-handers. Slider away, fastball in, 1-1. There's a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, we talk a lot about pitch sequencing, and this is a good example right here. First pitch slider, jumps ahead in the count, fastball inside off the plate. Now, will he come back with a slider, or will he double up on the fastball? That time he came right back with another heater on the outside corner. There's another one just off the corner. Just want to avoid any kind of patterns.
Patrick has done a much better job this year of throwing that fastball to both sides of the plate. That's really been a difference maker for him. They come back in, misses down, and it's full 3-2.
Two slider upcoming.
Got him. Patrick Korbin gets his 3rd strikeout. He's retired 9 straight and leads it 2-0. Sequence here, the Cubs and Brewers at Wrigley Field. Now Phil Cuzzy, the plate umpire, rings up Ben Zobrist on a pitch that was well outside, and there's a discussion there. Zobrist leaves. Joe Madden, the manager, comes in because he doesn't want to hear it. Are you arguing balls and strikes? Yes? Well, then you're out of here. And then later in the game, when Zobrist was on deck, said, look, if we can't talk to you about this, this is why we want robot umpires. And when he said that, because he ejected Zobrist as well. Your thoughts?
Well, once again, an umpire misses a call and two guys get ejected from the game, but the umpire is still out there blowing calls. Something wrong with that picture.
Profar at third. Souza grounds out to start the fourth.
That was almost Levon Hernandez with Eric Gregg behind the plate pad. Big breaking ball over in the right-handed batter's box that never came close to the outside corner. I can see why Zobrist was arguing.
Del Marte doubled the right center in his first at bat tonight. The pitch is right there, whether it's to a left-hand batter or a right-hand batter on that particular side of the strike zone. That's been a strike for Jerry Davis just like that all night tonight. And none of them have been at least in our K zone.
Every night.
A little too far out there. Back even 2-2. Marte came to the Diamondbacks, of course, from Seattle, the American League West, so he's played here a fair amount. 13 ball games, hit .283 here. And he's come back to work the count full 3-2. It's the corner with a fastball. Second walk issued by Gallardo.
You know, I think occasionally umpires eject guys because they missed a call, but occasionally a player deserves it. Adrian Beltre was warned to get into the on-deck circle by Jerry Davis, tonight's home plate umpire. So Beltre just moved the on-deck circle where he was standing rather than move back where it was initially.
That's an all-timer.
That's
right
kind of
there.
funny, yeah. Hey, you know. You told me to get in the circle.
Is it against the rules to move the on-deck circle?
Apparently so.
Daniel Descalso, an RBI ground out in the second. Descalso at first base tonight. Goldie the DA.
I'll have to say that was a first for me. I'd never seen that before anywhere.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
You think a guy headed to the Hall of Fame might cut him a little slack on something like that, but that's pretty much the textbook definition of showing up the umpire.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's when you tend to get tossed. A little quick pitch there.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that boundary is. We see a lot of guys that don't stand in the on-deck circle. They try to get as close to home plate as they can to try to get a peek. I mean, right now, Nick Ahmed trying to sneak a little bit closer to that right-handed batter's box, try to get a view of the release point. The pitcher out there on the mound.
There's so much stuff on top of the on-deck circle, there's no room to stand. That's out of play.
I mean, there were times when Todd Helton was still an active player. He was standing almost behind the umpire, watching the pitches come in while he was taking his warm-up swings. There's some of the paraphernalia in that on-deck circle.
Now, in the old days, I don't even know how far back, but you had the classic photo or the picture of the guy kneeling down on top of the on-deck circle, ready to take the at-bat. That never happens anymore. And the guys who used to have their baseball cards taken with that pose.
And guys used to come out into the on-deck circle before we had lead bats and donuts and all the swing things they have down there. Now they used to just take 2 bats and swing those in the on-deck circle.
We did that in Little League.
Yeah.
We only had 2 bats. 2-1. Ooh, yeah. Jerry Davis wanted to call that a strike, but he held off. 3-1.
We used to call that an umpire balk. He started up as if he was going to call that a strike and then just kept his hands on his hips.
Sure did. He flinched. That's 2 for flinching. This is belted to right. Chu back and will play it off the wall. Marte flying into third. They're going to wave him home. Descalso's at second. The throw is not in time. Daniel in at third, and it's 3-0 Diamondbacks. Tony Perez-Chica saw that get to the wall. He did not hesitate. It's a double for Descalso and an RBI.
That ball was belted to the gap in right center out there. Good base running by both Diamondbacks that time. Ketel Marte just put his head down, picked up his third base coach, and motors all the way around to score ahead of the tag. And Daniel Descalso never slowed down behind him, and he ends up at third base.
Nick Ahmed popped up in his first at bat tonight. 3-0 Diamondbacks. Nick can tack on a run right here. This is where the Diamondbacks have kind of let themselves down lately, scoring early in the ball game and then missing opportunities to tack on runs throughout the game. And that, as a result, has put a lot of pressure on the bullpen. Keep the line moving. Infield in for Texas. That's chopped foul. Nick, when he popped up in the second inning, had Ketel Marte at third with 1 out. Could not get the runner home. Avila then struck out, and Marte was stranded at third. Bullpen will start to get cranked up for the Rangers. There's the left-hander, Jeffrey Springs. That kicks away from Kiner Falefa. Here comes Descalso. Make it 4-0 Diamondbacks.
We talked about that earlier when talking about Kiner Falefa making the transition from middle infielder to catcher. That blocking is a very tough skill to acquire. Some guys go about it naturally. Guys that have caught for years and years and years. Guys that are trying to learn the position. That's one of the last things that comes. It's against human nature. Hey, just throw your body in front of that 95-mile-an-hour pitch. Okay. Wait a minute. What?
2-2. Diamondbacks with a run in the first, a run in the second, now 2 in here in the fourth. Pitch count on Gallardo creeping up. That's belted toward the left field corner and off the wall. Ahmed headed for second, and Nick's got a stand-up double. Boy, that ball was smoked.
Yeah, it really was. It's been a while since we've seen a bottom of the order rally like this. Oh, it's middle in, about mid-thigh. Line drive just below the 354 mark out there in straightaway left field.
You know, since he's changed his approach, Bob, we see Nick hit balls like that so much more often than he used to. Just crushing those balls down the left field line. It's just like that. Alex Avila. Rangers have 3 infielders on the right-hand side. Alex struck out his first time. Breaking ball missed. 1-0. D-backs have out-hit the Rangers 6-1. They lead it 4-0. Fastball's low. As you mentioned, Bob, Gallardo has had some impressive outings with Texas this year. 6 innings of scoreless baseball against Cleveland, 5 1/3 scoreless at Houston in back-to-back starts. And when he has struggled, he's not been hurt too badly because the Rangers have scored all these runs for him. But still, Jeff Bannister's ball club, last in the American League West. They are 21 games behind the Astros for the division lead. 15 games under 500. 3-0 on Avila. And that is ball 4, his 3rd walk of the ball game, his 2nd in this inning. Here comes Jeff Bannister. 4 consecutive 3-ball counts for Gallardo. 2 runs already in, and that's going to be it, as Jeffrey Springs will come on to face John Jay. Back after this. Nothing. Fans catch an MLB doubleheader coming up Saturday on FS1. It's the Orioles against Francisco Lindor and the Indians. Then Ryan Braun and the Brewers battle Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals. Coverage begins at noon on FS1, or you can stream it live on the Fox Sports app. D-backs having a big 4th inning here. And on from the Texas bullpen, the left-hander Jeffrey Springs, who was a non-roster invitee to spring training this year. Got called up from AAA Round Rock at the end of July. Just his 5th appearance. So far so good, a 1.29 ERA. 2 runs already in. Nick Ahmed at second, Alex Avila's at first. And the batter is John Jay with 1 out. 1-1. John, a .229 hitter against lefties this year. He's got Goldie, the DH, on deck. Looks like they're going to let Springs face Goldie if it gets to that. No one warming up with the Ranger bullpen. Oh, that fastball caught the corner, but Kiner-Falefa had to move way out there to get it. Kind of fooled Jerry Davis. And it's 2-1.
Once again, another thing that an inexperienced catcher might do, where a veteran catcher might shift his body a little differently and try to get his glove out there and make that pitch look better. That time he just kind of pushed it right out of the strike zone.
Tell you what, this booth is like working in a coal mine. They got the light right here. There's no lights in here. 2-1. You never know what you're going to need on this job. You need every gizmo and gadget, USBs and plugs and lights and chargers and all kinds of stuff. We got it all here.
4-color pens. You need all kinds of stuff up here in the booth.
Are you still on the same one?
Yeah.
That's the one you bought at the drugstore, right?
No, I threw that one away. That one didn't work.
San Francisco. Well, hopefully in the new ballpark they'll remember to, put lights in the booth. See, we have this.
Mood lighting, yeah.
How are we looking? And this thing is awesome. This is look at this. You got outlets and USBs in here.
Nice. Not bad. Bob's taking good care of us over there.
We'd be in the dark literally without him. 2-2. Look out. That's a live ball. Kiner-Falefa can't find it, and everybody moves up.
Well, I'm not sure if that was a cross-up or if Kiner-Falefa just got locked up by a fastball right there. Very slow reacting, and he goes out to the mound immediately, which is an indicator to me that Springs probably missed a sign.
There's a mound visit for the Rangers. Now Nick is at third base. Alex at second. Still just one out. And a full count on John Jay. 3-2. They scored that a wild pitch. Second wild pitch in this inning by a second Texas pitcher.
Off the right foot of Jerry Davis that time behind the plate. Those umpires have steel-toed shoes that they wear when they work the plate. The shin guards come down and protect the ankle area.
3-2. Infield in for the Rangers. And that's ball 4. They're loaded for Goldie. Third walk in the inning drawn by the Diamondbacks. Goldie could do some real damage here. He's already homered and singled as the DH tonight. On edge at third. Avila's at second. Jay at first. Fly ball along the left field line, headed for the seats and out of play.
Well, a little bit of confusion in the middle infield for the Rangers that time. They were playing all the way in until the very last instant, and then Andrews backpedaled into a double play position. Same thing for Odor at second base. They were both looking into the dugout trying to figure out where they should position themselves. Are we playing for two? Or are we trying to cut the run off at home plate? And they decided to back them up at double play depth just as the pitch was being thrown.
Boy, there's a big crooked number waiting to happen right here. 1-1. Goldie now on an 8-game hitting streak. 5 of those have been multi-hit games. A fastball up and missed it. 1-2.
Not a bad run here, hitting almost to 570 in his last 16 at bats with 3 home runs and 3 doubles. OPS, of course, on base percentage plus slugging percentage. Reaches out and pokes it foul down the line. Broke his bat.
Sounded like it.
Pick me out a winner, Bobby.
Pick me out a winner, Bobby. That kind of looked like what Goldie told the bat boy right there.
Got that fastball in there. Goldie having a big summer. The only spot where pitchers have been getting him out is either down and in or up and in. Any pitch anywhere else he has been crushing all summer long. So down and in just off the strike zone, or up and in kind of under the hands. Everything else, it's been all Goldie. Down the line, stopped by Profar. They go to second for 1, and they turn the double play. Jurickson Profar got it started at third. D-backs scored twice. They lead it 4-0.
Texas, time to take a look at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. We go way back in the Wayback Machine to 1919. The Dodgers and Cubs split a doubleheader. Total time of 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Let me guess, you picked the Geico moment today.
Yes, indeed I did. Game 1, an hour and 10 minutes. That was a 2-0 Cubs win. And game 2, the Dodgers won in an hour and 7 minutes, 1-0.
Well, this one has lasted already about an hour and 20 minutes, and it's the bottom of the 4th, but it's 4-0 D-backs. And Rougned Odor leads it off for the Rangers against Patrick Korbin. Diamondbacks will put the shift on. 3 infielders on the first base side. Odor fly out his first time up. Still hitless in the series. That one got in there. Jerry Davis didn't like it. 1-0. Odor, even with his 0 for so far, hitting over 350 since the All-Star break. He's been red hot. Drives one deep to center. It backs up Jay, and it's over his head off the wall. Rougned Odor, a stand-up double, starts the Rangers' 4th. Just the second hit against Patrick Korbin.
And really the first solid contact against Patrick Korbin all night. We've seen a lot of lazy pop-ups and fly balls. Ball was scalded to straightaway center. John Jay got turned around a little bit. Odor ends up at second base with a leadoff double.
First time Texas has had a runner in scoring position tonight. Elvis Andrews struck out in the first. Patrick had retired 9 straight Rangers before that Odor double. Breaking ball misses low, 1-0. Andrews not really doing much against lefties this year. He's a .235 hitter against left-hand pitching, which is a little odd. Broken bat roller to first. Descalso's got it. Odor moves up, 1 away.
Third baseman,
No Adrian Beltre tonight. He tweaked his left hammy in the game last night, so it's Jurickson Profar at third. Profar grounded out his first time up. There's Beltre. Profar, a switch hitter. He's got 13 homers, but nearly all his power comes batting left-handed. Lifts it in the air, deep right center field. John Jay drifting over there. Odor's at third, and here he comes. And Texas gets on the board. Here's Chirinos.
Sac fly puts the Rangers on the board, but a little bit of a rally killer here. Now bases are clear, 2 outs in the inning. Patrick Korbin can just go to work here on Chirinos, try to get out of this 4th inning, turn it over to his offense again.
You know, that's a very understated moment, Bob, for a pitcher. I mean, you give up the leadoff double to Odor, and then you've got the 3 and 4 hitters coming up. And Chirinos bats 5th. That's a chance to get something started if you're Texas, but Corbett, although he gives up the run, kind of snuffs out the rally.
Yeah, to use one of Torrey's phrases, they weren't able to build the inning or link their at bats. You know, they had the leadoff double, a couple of quick outs. Even though they get a sac fly to score the run, Patrick's not in trouble anymore. Nobody on base, 2 outs.
1-1 on Chirinos, who's the DH for Texas tonight. He was the catcher last night. Good breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Another swing and miss and a Korbin slider. Patrick this year has 100 more swings and misses with his slider than any pitcher in baseball. Fastball foul back. Korbin 3-0 in his last 4 starts, and during that stretch coming into tonight, he put up 34 strikeouts against only 2 walks. And of those 34 strikeouts, nearly all of them have come on the slider. 1-2 on Chirinos. Got him with a fastball upstairs. 4 strikeouts for Patrick. Texas gets one back. It's 4-1 Diamondbacks.
visit the headquarters of Fogo de Chao, the Brazilian steakhouse. He's a big fan. He's already hit up the one in Scottsdale. Even though he's new to town, there's his family and friends, and he really loves this restaurant, guys. And you go back to Minnesota, there was a lot that was said about Fogo Power. That's what he calls it, and he goes there 2 to 3 times a week. He went there today, ate lunch there today, and there he is with some of the members of the administration of Fogo de Chao. And so he says, look, it could be a big day. Now, he's got 2 ground balls so far, but it's not over yet, guys. We'll see what happens.
It's like Wade Boggs with his chicken.
Didn't Boggsy come out with a cookbook?
Yeah, I think you're right, a chicken cookbook.
Because he ate chicken every day and had, I don't know, a couple hundred different recipes for how to cook the chicken, how to prepare it.
The Chicken Man. As Jody mentioned, it's David Peralta's 31st birthday today. Well, it is really windy here. Now the ballpark is pretty much enclosed all around. There's no big open area where the wind comes in, but those flags are really howling straight in from right field. And it gets inside the bowl and kind of swirls.
Really shows up on high pop-ups. We saw that very early on in the ball game when David Peralta had to make a couple of adjustments on Rougned Odor, the second batter of the game for the Rangers, hit a high pop-up out there. David got turned around a couple times when that ball got up into the wind.
Jeffrey Springs, the left-hander, back out there after relieving Gallardo when he strikes out Peralta. Yeah, that's why Ben Hogan, growing up in Texas, used to hit all those low 2-irons, keep it out of that wind. There's Eduardo Escobar. Yeah, the title of Wade Boggs' chicken recipe book was very aptly named Fowl Tips.
Oh, nice.
F-O-W-L.
I like it.
I remember when Wade Boggs got his 3,000th hit in Tampa Bay. It was a home run at the Trop, and he kissed home plate.
I remember that too, yeah.
Escobar gets one up into that wind. Gallo's in left field tonight. 2 outs. Well, so far, Fogo de Chao's 0 for 3.
Yeah.
Just saying. Here's Souza, who singled and scored to start the second. He's 1 for 2. Are you a Brazilian steakhouse guy?
I've been before. I enjoyed it. I can't say it's at the top of my list, but I had a very good meal. Enjoyed it.
Do they have pizza there?
No.
Enough said. I saw our good friend Steve Gilbert, eminent beat writer for the Diamondbacks, works for MLB.com on the WWW, grilling you about your favorite pizza joints all over the country. I think Steve-O was trying to pick up a few tips.
Probably going to be a feature story.
Should be.
The pizza joints are a little like fishing holes. You don't want to give away too much.
Start getting grilled by the press about your favorite places. It's going to blow the whole deal.
I think he wants to compete with Todd Walsh in the local 9. I think that's what he's trying to do.
You might be onto something there. Sort of the web version. Texas not really known for pizza. They got other priorities here, food-wise. Fastball's low, and Souza gets a 2-out walk. That's the 5th D-back hitter to walk so far. Of the previous 4, only 1 scored. That was Marte in the 4th, and here he comes.
And we pointed that out about Gallardo, the Rangers starting pitcher in this ball game. He'd actually walked more hitters than he had struck out over his last 4 starts when he was a perfect 4-0, but a lot of traffic on the bases.
Marte spins around and bats right-handed. That's been his better side this year. He's over 300 as a right-hand batter with 6 homers, which is the opposite of the way he hit last season when he was better as a left-hand batter. Not sure what to make of that, really.
I'm not really sure either. You'd like to think that maybe next year he'll come back and hit 300 from both sides.
There goes Souza. Here's the throw from Kiner Falefa on a hop, and Steven is in there. His 4th stolen base.
Kiner Falefa very quick with the release, however, just didn't get much carry on the throw. Short hop down there that Odor has to come up and make a pick and try to apply the tag at the same time. Souza Jr. underneath the tag with his 4th stolen base of the season.
6 consecutive balls thrown by Jeffrey Springs. Behind on Marte, 2-0. You could tell, almost jumped out of his shoes to chase that one.
His swing seems to be much more aggressive lately as a right-handed hitter. A little bit more of a leg kick, kind of gets more momentum into the pitch. Yeah, maybe just a confidence matter. I mean, every switch hitter usually feels a little better from one side than the other. And just based on the swings, I'd say Marte's feeling pretty good right-handed.
Yeah, there's about a 100-point difference for Cattell, right over left. 10 home runs, 6 as a right-hand hitter. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is popped up shallow center. DeShields coming in. And Springs strands the 2-out walk. Bottom 5 on the way, 4-1 D-backs. Fifth consecutive game with a home run. His 3rd consecutive game hitting a leadoff home run. Unbelievable. The youngest player in baseball history to homer in 5 consecutive games. He has started their last 3 games with a homer, including yesterday when he led off both games of a doubleheader against Miami with a home run.
Has anybody ever intentionally walked the leadoff hitter in a game?
I want to start thinking about it, huh? Here's Joey Gallo, who struck out on a Korbin slider his first time up. High ball, deep left center. Jay drifting over there near the warning track, and he runs it down.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions always apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
The catcher tonight, the rookie Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Flying out to right his first time up. Breaking ball, steal, strike 1.
Patrick so far has given up only 2 hits. A leadoff single to Chu and a double by Odor to start the 4th. Odor scored on a Profar sacrifice fly. D-backs got their 4 runs. Goldie a solo homer in the 1st, his 27th of the year. Descalso had an RBI ground out in the 2nd. Descalso an RBI double in the 4th. Another run scored on a wild pitch. 1-2. Patrick tonight looking for win number 10. Korbin coming off victories over the Giants and the Phillies. 3-0 in his last 4 starts. That's dunked into right field. A base hit for Kiner Falefa. 3rd hit for Texas.
First baseman Ronald Guzman.
Ronald Guzman, the first baseman, popped up in his first at bat tonight. Guzman, a couple of hits last night, including a home run off Zach Greinke to lead off the 3rd. His 13th of the year. Up the middle, Ahmed ranging over there, collects it, and they get Guzman. Nice play by Nick as Kiner Falefa moves into 2nd. Everyone looked like he was going to roll into center for a base hit.
We're talking about multitasking. Just getting to this ground ball is enough of a task, but then Nick realizes very quickly there's no future in a backhanded flip to Ketel Marte running toward the bag there in 2nd. Probably not going to get that out. Maybe 2 men on base, but Nick has the wherewithal to complete the play onto first base to get at least 1 out on that play.
So you've got 2 down and the number 9 hitter up. It's Delino DeShields, who flied out at his first at bat tonight, hitting .207 on the year. Just the 2nd time tonight the Rangers have had a runner in scoring position. There's a breaking ball upstairs, first strike. Patrick so far has struck out 4. He's not walked a batter. Yes, he went. And Hoberg rings him up. 5 strikeouts for Korbin. 4-1 D-backs. fans, you can collect the final bobblehead this year, coming up September 8th. First 20,000 fans with us for the D-backs and the Braves. Take home the Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead, courtesy of Pepsi. This is an absolute must-have. dbacks.com for tickets.
I can't wait to see Ketel Marte wearing those high-top turquoise cleats.
He will wear them, too.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
him.
You know that.
Descalso, the first baseman tonight, has 2 RBIs, 1 on a ground ball, 1 on a double. He also scored a run. And he leads off the 6th against left-hander Jeffrey Springs, who's back out there. He's already worked 1 2/3 innings in relief of Yovani Gallardo. A somewhat momentous day in Rangers history today, as they are now under 100. Is it games? Must be games.
I think so.
Not days. Under 100 games until they open their new ballpark in 2020, the brand new Globe Life Park. 99 home games left to go in this ballpark until the new one opens up across the street. And they have a big ceremony once a home game. They take down the number and put up a lower one as the countdown continues.
Last night was former Ranger Rusty Greer.
Oh, yeah.
I believe the gentleman tonight has been a season ticket holder forever for the Rangers, so he got to pull down the tarp today.
Did you ever play in the old one? What was it, Arlington Stadium?
I did, yeah.
Really?
With the well, I don't know if I played. I came here with the Blue Jays and I was in uniform. I'd have to go back and look to see if I played or not. Probably not.
Scalzo strikes out. That was back in the old Bobby Valentine days.
Oh, it was hot too. Oh my! At the old ballpark, they had the bullpens were like underneath the bleachers down the left field line. You got no wind. It was hot, steamy in there.
Sounds great.
You'd sweat just sitting there watching the game.
I remember Bobby V would always tell us about managing the Rangers down here, and Billy Martin went through the same thing, trying to get football fans interested in baseball. And of course, the first manager here was Ted Williams. They had a Ted Williams manager bobblehead day here this year after they moved from the Washington Senators. And Billy Martin, of course, would always wear that cowboy hat. And in reading his biography, which is a terrific book, I think it was Bill Pennington was the author. This is where he started wearing the cowboy hat when he was down here managing the Rangers. That one is over the mound. Odor backhands it and throws out Ahmed. 2 outs.
Well, once again, what a way to endear yourself to the Texas fans. Wear a cowboy hat every day. And Billy Martin never struck me as the cowboy type, but you know, he started wearing that hat and everybody just kind of went along with it.
Yeah, Billy Martin grew up in the Bay Area, Berkeley. There's Alex Avila, but he always wore it in those beer commercials with George Steinbrenner.
You're fired.
Not again. Great taste, less filling. Alex has struck out and walked. Rangers have the shift on against him. Breaking ball misses low. Jeffrey Springs, although he's walked 2, has done a pretty good job. He's yet to give up a base hit working in relief. Got a double play ball to win the 4th. Worked around a 2-out walk in the 5th. And now he's retired the first 2 he's faced in the 6th. Just called up for the minor leagues at the end of July. There's a fly ball to center. DeShields will look up and watch it go. Alex Avila, 5-1 Diamondbacks.
It is Taco Tuesday.
There you go. That was your key to the game.
Yeah, fifth run of the game. A solo bomb to straightaway center field by Alex Avila. I love road tacos.
That's a
I
free
like home
jumbo
tacos,
jack.
too.
Jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. The whole thing. John Jay has grounded out twice and walked. Alex is 6th of the year. Boy, you know, he's got this. Lazy's not the right word, but it's just a nice, easy swing. Just lowers that bat head down there, and when he connects, boy, it goes.
Well, the thing about Alex is he rarely chases bad pitches.
Yeah,
so if
you're
he
right.
gets a pitch in the strike zone, he can do some damage.
And when he was striking out a lot very early in the year, he was, and he admitted a little too passive. He would look at strikes more often than not. He's always been a very disciplined hitter, very good on base percentage guy. Jay bidding for a base hit. Odor can't get there. 2-out single for John Jay. He's been aboard twice today. 415 feet on the Avila home run, 104 miles an hour off the bat.
Well, I was glad to see Delino DeShields break it down out there in center field and give up on that one. We've seen him climb the wall a few times this year and steal home runs from opposing hitters.
Chris Martin warming up in the Ranger pen. Let's go down to Jody.
Paul Goldschmidt today is the DH, just getting him off his feet a little bit. And it's interesting, Torey Lovullo back in spring, and I'm sure you guys remember this, he said, I'm going to play him less. It'll be in the low 150s this year. That's the plan. Well, today, Torey Lovullo kind of admitted that hasn't really worked out. He started all but 3 games. He said Goldie is just so physically and mentally tough. And he basically said to him, he's given him options on various days. He said, over my dead body am I coming out of the lineup? So this is what Goldie does, and that's what Torey said is great leaders do that. They're ready to play every day.
In a sense, it's a half day for Goldie, Jody. He has homered, singled, and hit into a double play, 2 for 3. There's another part that factors in with the Goldie off days in terms of sitting him down out of the starting lineup in a ball game as he fouls that one back. Diamondbacks have a decent amount of scheduled off days coming up. In fact, 2 next week. We play 4 in San Diego, then we're back home next Monday, off day. 2 against the Angels, off day again, and then 3 against Seattle over the weekend. And there's, let's see, 3 off days planned in September, so he will get some downtime here. Doesn't necessarily mean you got to take him out of the lineup. Get some built-in downtime.
And if Torey decides that he does need some extended time, those off days, as we've seen Torey do many times, you give the guy the day off before or after the scheduled off day.
The combo, as he likes to call
The
it.
combo. Get fries with that.
1-1. On the way he's hitting right now, I mean, you can't take him out of the lineup. Goldie since June the 1st is hitting over 340. Got jammed a bit that time, popped it up. Odor drifting out there. Alex Avila's 6th of the year makes it 5-1 D-backs. It's a dot race. Now, back in the old days, the old ballpark, Arlington Stadium, they had electronic colored dots that would race on the video board. And they've taken that theme and they've made actual sort of real life dots, if you will. And now they race. And I think it's maybe controversial that the greenie won. Had a little extra something in his step, apparently. Here's Shin-Soo Choo leads off the 6th.
Much more exciting in person than that video dot race.
Yeah, it really captured the spirit of the thing, I think, and brought it to life. Choo has singled and struck out. I'm told they also have a Texas Legends race, but only every once in a while. There's a George Bush giant head that races other world leaders or something. Choo has a base hit, his second tonight. Well, the Rangers have had base hits lead off the 1st, the 4th, and now the 6th innings. But they've only scored 1 run against Corbett.
Patrick only has 5 strikeouts in the game. I say only 5. He struck out the final batter in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th.
Rougned Odor doubled and scored in the 4th. When they had the Texas Legends race, there's a George Bush, there's a Nolan Ryan, a Sam Houston, and a Jim Bowie. So you've covered all parts of the Texas spectrum there. Odor launches one down the line, can't keep it fair. Boy, she didn't even flinch.
Odor made the best contact against Patrick Korbin in this game. Yeah, positioned perfectly, but
I've seen that a million times. That's a good fan right there. Got the cooler, all the Ranger stuff on. I like that. Shift is on against Odor. Avila will give it a look near the screen, but out of play.
I was going to say Odor made the best contact against Patrick Korbin leading off that 4th inning with a double. Later came around to score on Jurickson Profar's sac fly to center field. But other than that double by Odor, there just hasn't been a lot of solid contact against Patrick tonight.
Yeah, Choo has 2 fairly routine singles. Connor Falefa kind of dunked one into right field for a base hit back in the 5th. 0-2 on Rougned Odor. Escobar, the 3rd baseman, right behind second base umpire Jeremy Rehak. Ahmed over there at shortstop. Swing and a miss. Got him on the slider. 6 strikeouts for Patrick.
The shortstop, Elvis Andrews.
Odor, that big old leg kick, chases a slider down low and away.
Elvis Andrews 0 for 2. Patrick at 74 pitches, 50 strikes. 6 strikeouts and no walks. There's a strike on the breaking ball, 0-1. Andrews hitless so far, working on a 23-game home hitting streak here at Globe Life Park. Another breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Punched into right. Base hit for Andrews, who extends his home hitting streak. 2 on and 1 out now for Jurickson Profar. Profar is grounded out. He's driven in a run with a fly ball. Bullpen still quiet for the Diamondbacks. Out to right field. Souza's on the run. He can't get it. It's off the wall. Chu will score. They will stop Andrews. An RBI double for Profar. And it's 5-2. Base hits by 3 of the last 4 Texas hitters against Korbin.
And part of the reason I pointed out that Rougned Odor had hit the ball hard back in the 4th inning, that's one of the things you watch for as a pitching coach and a manager. Patrick had been getting some real easy outs, soft contact, some swinging strikes. A little better contact here in this inning by the Rangers. You see Chu held up momentarily before coming on around to score. Mike Butcher headed out to the mound to have a meeting. Yeah, if a guy's cruising along and nobody's making solid contact, you're getting a lot of easy outs, your defense is working, and all of a sudden he goes back out there for the 6th inning, and there was a long foul ball off the bat of Odor. Chu hit a hard ground ball that snuck through for a base hit. Elvis Andrews was just good 2-strike hitting. He fell behind chasing sliders, but got a fastball up and out over the plate and guided it through that right side for a base hit, and now Profar with the RBI double.
And here's Chirinos, who drove in 4 last night. It's very important to Torey Lovullo that when his starting pitchers get in trouble or they put traffic around them on the bases, that they don't turn around and see the bullpen jumping up and springing into action. He wants them to know that he trusts his starting pitchers to get out of the jams that they create. Now the leash gets shorter the deeper you get into the ball game, but that's something that didn't happen here before, and under Torey it does, and the pitchers have taken that and really run with it. Chirinos has popped up and struck out, 0 for 2. Last night a 3-run homer and an RBI single. Elvis Andrews at 3rd, Jurickson Profar at 2nd, 1 out. A run is in. Now 8 hits for Texas, 6 hits for Texas. Breaking ball is in there, 1-1. Still no one warming up in the bullpen. On the ground to shortstop, slowly hit. Ahmed will get 1. Andrews scores, and it's 5-3.
Diamondbacks willing to trade an out for a run right there to avoid the big inning. Hopefully stop the damage at 2.
No chance to get the runner coming home. Here's Gallo, 0 for 2. You get the idea that he could do that to Joey Gallo 100 times and he might not hit the ball.
Well, and you also get the feeling if you happen to hang one on the inside part of the plate, Joey Gallo might hit a 500 feet. That's the trade-off. You just don't want to make a mistake with an off-speed pitch.
Gallo always a threat to take it deep. 9 home runs in 20 games since the All-Star break. 31 on the year. He's got tremendous power. He's also second in the major leagues in strikeouts. Back to the breaking ball. There's another one and another swing and a miss.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
One more time. A little too far out there. Gotta keep an eye on Profar down there at third. It's 2-2. So far tonight, Gallo has seen 6 Korbin sliders. He's swung and missed 5 times. Here comes another one. Got him. But the Rangers get 2. D-backs lead is now 5-3. NL West lead. The designated hitter in Houston for Colorado is Nolan Arenado. And with the Rockies down 1-0, a 2-run home run off Justin Verlander has made it 2-1 Rockies. They're in the 7th inning at Minute Maid Park in Houston. Dodgers host the Giants tonight. That's Wood versus Suarez. Torey Lovullo's ball club, a game ahead of both the Dodgers and the Rockies. Colorado is just percentage points ahead of LA for second place. Giants are 5 back. Here in Texas, it's 5-3 D-backs as we start the 7th inning. New pitcher for the Rangers is Chris Martin, who's been on the 10-day DL 3 times this year, once with a right forearm problem, another time with a right calf strain, and then the 3rd time with a left groin strain. So this guy is kind of a mess. His 33rd appearance, though, the ERA just over 5. David Peralta, the birthday boy today, he's 31. Leads off the 7th. David has walked, flied out, struck out. He's 0 for 2. .95 on the fastball, 0-1.
Now, Chris Martin really is a Texas native, born right here in Arlington, went to Arlington High School.
Wow, how about that? Huh?
Yeah.
Probably grew up going to old Arlington Stadium, watching the Rangers play back in the. I was probably too young for the Toby Harrah days. Maybe Jim Sundberg.
.6'8". He's a big old drink of water out there on the mound.
.96 off the plate, 1-2. Peralta has hit safely in 9 of his 11 games this month. He's hitting .438 in August with 5 homers. Two and two. Eduardo Escobar, the cleanup man on deck. That's Steven Souza Jr. 3, 4, and 5. And the D-backs 7th. There's a look at the Texas defense. See where DeShields is. A couple of steps over toward left center. Punches it away from the shift, but right at Profar. Escobar tonight 0 for 3.
Third baseman Eduardo Escobar.
Fastball right there at 96, 0-1. That's 2 now, up and in.
Those are hard cutters in the low 90s. That one in 91. The earlier one in the at bat at 92 off the plate inside.
Near foul grounded third. Profar has got it. 2 outs. Well, so far for Steven Souza Jr., a single, a walk. He has scored a run. He's stolen a base. 1 for 2. Jody showed us video earlier. Steven was over there taking our tour this morning of Jerry Jones Football Palace right next door, the Cowboys Stadium. And Souza was out there running pass patterns. He was a receiver on his high school football team in Washington State. And he told me during our cup of coffee episode, when we shot that one recently, that's coming up on Sunday, that there was a while there early into his minor league career he was going to quit baseball. and sent out a bunch of emails to the college football programs that had recruited him out of high school. I think he was 21 at the time, and said, hey, I got some money. I don't need a scholarship. What do you think about me coming out for the team? And he got a lot of positive response from a lot of Pac-12 schools that wanted him to come out and try out. But that was the Rubicon, which would have led him away from baseball. Maybe he doesn't get back into it. He never responded to any of the emails. He stuck with baseball, and now here he is.
I think that was a good choice.
But it was an interesting moment, and really a crossroads for him as a young guy. The minor league career was not going as he anticipated it would. He was a third-round pick coming out of high school back in '07 by Washington. But he stuck with it. 2-2. But he's always been a really good athlete. There was a players' charity golf tournament a couple of years ago. They had a long drive competition, and Souza won it. He got up there, and he cranked a golf ball 342 yards off the tee.
Jeez.
Yeah. He's a big, powerful guy. '97 for Martin, still 2-2. And it's hard to believe this when you look at his size. I mean, he's 6'4", 225. When he was a minor leaguer in the national system, he was a shortstop. I mean, he played shortstop about 5 years. And it took a long time before they moved him out to the outfield. He played third base, some first base, a lot of shortstop. I mean, can you imagine him down there playing shortstop?
I mean, there is a trend in the game toward bigger middle infielders, guys that not only can field their position, but also hit the ball in the seats with regularity. Yeah, I can see him being a shortstop. Way to burn off some of that energy he has.
No one would ever break up a double play. 3-2. That's trying to get foul near the Texas dugout. Guzman has it, though. And Martin works a 1-2-3 seventh. We stretch in Texas, 5-3 Diamondbacks. Three set for the home half of the seventh inning. Calling all Wildcats. D-backs U of A night, September 6th. Get a custom D-backs U of A cap and a discounted baseline reserve ticket for just $25 with our special event ticket pack. You can get yours at dbacks.com/Wildcats. Patrick Korbin back out there to start the bottom of the seventh against the lower third of the Rangers order. Here's the catcher, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who hits a bouncer to shortstop for Nick Ahmed. Got to hurry. One away in the seventh. There is action in the Diamondback bullpen. Korbin about to throw his 90th pitch of the ball game.
Boy, Nick has such a great internal stopwatch. He had to lay back and play a big hop right there. He kind of got up into the heel of his glove. Knew he had to rush that throw across the first base in order to get the out, and does just get it over there in time.
Right-hander is Yoshi Hirano. The left-hander who worked in the ball game briefly last night, Andrew Chafin. There's Ronald Guzman, the first baseman. There's the strike 0-1. Guzman, who homered in the ball game last night, 0 for 2 tonight. There's the slider, make it 0-2. Patrick Korbin with 7 strikeouts so far. Patrick has struck out at least 8 batters in each of his last 4 starts. 3rd in the National League in strikeouts. Guzman able to check. Rangers bullpen's been busy. The left-hander Alex Claudio. Reaches out and pokes it to shallow left center. Ahmed calling everybody off. He yields to Peralta. 2 down. Brings up the number 9 man, Delino DeShields. 0 for 2. Patrick Korbin trying to get through 7. In line for his 3rd consecutive win. It would be his 10th of the year. That one is foul at 3rd. Patrick so far has given up 3 runs on 6 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. 94 pitches, 65 for strikes. I don't know if Torrey will let him continue the inning if he gets a base runner here. At the top of the order coming up. Never mind, Escobar's got it at 3rd. Korbin goes 7. He leads it 5-3. The Rangers, they lead this one 5-3 as we start the 8th inning. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. A travel day tomorrow. We're off to San Diego. A 4-game set at Petco Park against the Padres. Opens up on Thursday. Clay Buchholz a birthday today. He'll start the opener. And it's Robbie Ray, Zach Godley, Zach Greinke, all 4 games for you right here on Fox Sports Arizona. New pitcher for Texas as we open up the 8th inning, the left-hander Alex Claudio. He was on the DL for a while last month with a left ankle sprain. His 49th appearance of the year, a 4.89 ERA. Ketel Marte, Daniel Descalso, Nick Ahmed due up 6, 7, and 8 in the Diamondbacks 8th inning. Marte has doubled, he's walked, he's scored a run, 1 for 2. Claudio's got all kinds of stuff going on there with that delivery.
Right out of the Blake Parker school of pitching. Give them a lot to look at. Maybe they won't notice the pitch.
Got the shimmy and the shake and the funky leg kick, the weird arm angle. Andrews can't pick it. It rolls into left center. Marte's aboard to start the 8th. On base for the 3rd time tonight. Elvis checking out the replay on the video board. That was hit hard, hit right at him. They say E6. Descalso has knocked in 2 runs tonight, one on a ground ball, the other on a double in the 4th. That's Dave McKay. Limbo's out of the way of that one at first. Descalso, the first baseman tonight. Goldie's the DH. Goldie is homered and singled as the designated hitter tonight.
That Marte shot to shortstop, 115 miles an hour off the bat.
That's a hard E6. It was hit right at him. That's a tough call for a score. That's when the official score loses either way. This is poked down the line and slicing out of play. Nobody ever loves the official score. I mean, you're always going to upset somebody. That's upsetting enough. Tough job.
Maybe you could swap that ball for a new hat.
When's hat day?
It's his lucky hat.
I'm not sure his luck doesn't need to change. Dave McKay down there looking at his stopwatch. Why does a first base coach have a stopwatch?
Well, you time the pitcher's delivery from the time he starts his delivery until the ball gets to the catcher to see what that time is, and ideally you already know what the catcher's time will be about from behind home plate. So Dave McKay checking every delivery, and if he sees a time that he feels Ketel Marte can get enough of a jump to steal a base, he'll let him know. Yeah, Torrey was telling us today that there's a few guys on this team that have the green light to run whenever they want to. They only stop when the red light is put on. Other guys have to actually get the steal sign before they go for second base.
Got a slow breaking ball and strikes out. Yeah, there are times when Torrey absolutely doesn't want anybody to run, and then he'll put the red line on. But yeah, some guys can go when they feel it.
Yeah, there are innings when you're down at the bottom of the order and the pitcher spot's coming up and you don't want to run into an out. You want to clear that pitcher spot in the inning if at all possible. So those might be situations where you put the red light on, stay right where you're at. We don't want to run into an out on the bases and have our pitcher spot leading off next inning.
There's that same slow breaker from Claudio. 1-1 on Nick. Ahmed doubled in the 4th.
You know, we made a little fun of Alex Claudio's delivery out there on the mound, but if you're a left-handed pitcher that doesn't throw particularly hard and you don't have a snap-dragon secondary pitch, I don't know why more lefties don't do this.
Yeah. What is it he's doing exactly?
Well, I'm not sure what all that is, but I'm just talking about the, you know, the little sidearm delivery, really cross-firing at home plate. Just try to have some deception in your delivery, because a fastball at 83 to 86 is not going to get a lot of big league hitters out, so you have to provide some kind of deception to be effective.
You know, the way he plants his foot when he sets and the glove is up, it's a very violent, jerky motion back towards second base that he uses to kind of kickstart his momentum. But watch what a kind of a violent jerk this is right here. Right there. Just to build something up from that position.
I think every organization in baseball has a number of left-handed pitchers in their system at various levels of the minor leagues that you can look at right now and say, this guy probably doesn't have enough stuff to compete at the major league level. Did you ever think about dropping down sidearm? Left-handed specialists are always at a premium in this game.
Well, somebody like that had a conversation with Brad Ziegler about that very thing many years ago from the right-hand side. But Claudio, whatever he's doing is working. He leads the Rangers staff with 48 appearances this year, so they use him a lot. 2-2 on Ahmed. Marte at first, 1 out. Got a couple of left-hand batters who will lead off the Rangers' 8th inning in Chu and Odor. Andrew Chafin is still warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Looks like he'll get the bottom half of the 8th. Avila on deck. Here's Andrew, who threw 12 pitches in last night's ball game. Full count, 3-2. And that's ball 4. So 2 on, 1 down for Avila, who homered to dead center field his last time up with 2 outs in the 6th inning. A solo shot, his 6th of the year. Here it is. Our Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing, cool play of the game.
415 feet to straightaway center for Alex Avila.
It had been nearly 2 years since Avila homered against a left-hand pitcher. That one was off the lefty Jeffrey Springs. Up here against another left-hander. 2 on, 1 out. Claudio just kind of picks at you with that slow breaking ball. Just caught the corner. Alex checking with Jerry Davis. Alex in his last 18 games, including tonight, nearly all of them starts. Hitting well over 300 with 4 homers. He's got Marte at second, Ahmed at first. Lays off that breaker, and it's 2-2. Leadoff man John Jay on deck. He's walked and singled tonight. Wanted to check, couldn't, and Claudio gets his second strikeout.
That slow breaking ball from the Rangers left-hander was really tough, that at bat for Alex Avila. Took a called strike on a sinker. And that was the changeup that caught the bottom of the strike zone. He misses in with a sinker, misses away with a slider, but then drops one right in there at 71, middle of the strike zone. Alex just could not pull the trigger. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
2 on, 2 out for Jay. That one rolls through into left center. Marte, some fancy footwork to avoid the baseball. Ahmed in at third, and it's 6-3 D-backs. Jay aboard for the third time tonight.
That comes against a tough lefty. A pitch away from him. He stays right on it. There's Marte hopscotching over the baseball as it rolled through into left center field for an RBI knock for John Jay.
And a chance for Goldie. Doug Brocale, the pitching coach out there. Goldie, the DH tonight. Homered in the first inning against Giovanni Gallardo, the second batter of the ball game, his 27th of the year. Single against Gallardo in the third. He's 2 for 4. Two on and 2 outs. A run is in. Ahmed's at third. Jay's at first. There's Tony Perez-Chica coaching down there. I'd like to see him throw one of those little 71-mile-an-hour breaking balls right out over the middle of the plate to Goldie, like the one he threw to Alex Avila.
Now maybe leave it up just a little bit higher.
Almost did it right there. Got it in for a strike. Goldie, 27 home runs this year, 19 of them coming on the road. One and two. National League road games. Goldie a .330 hitter away from Chase Field this year, third best in the league.
It's the old Bugs Bunny change up there. You swing at it 3 times before it gets to the hitting zone.
Like the hitters are all lined up in a row. They 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Strikes out the side. All with one pitch. 2 and 2. Up the middle, and Odor smothers it. What a play. They get the force on Jay. Rougned Odor saves a run up the middle. Takes an RBI away. Diamondbacks add one more, though. They lead at 6-3. Bob, if not for Rougned Odor up the middle.
Yeah, really nice play. Had to deal with the pitcher and the umpire. Went right through the wickets of Jeremy Rehak out there. Somehow Odor stays with it, makes a nice diving backhand stop, and then shovels as he's falling to the ground onto Andrews for the force on John Jay. Really nice play.
So here is Chafin, his 58th appearance of the year. You've got lefties Chu and Odor leading off the Ranger 8th. Patrick Korbin was terrific again tonight. 3 runs on 6 hits. He completed 7 innings. His 3rd straight appearance without a walk. His 10th straight game without giving up a home run. Chu has singled twice and scored a run.
For Patrick Korbin, his 25th start of the season here tonight, and not one base runner has reached via an error this season. Last year he had 11 runners reach via an error, and 12 of them came around to score unearned runs. This year not one guy has reached because of an error.
Chu faced the left-hander Patrick Korbin 3 times, singled twice against him and struck out. Now he's in there against the lefty Chafin. D-backs have out hit Texas 9-6. They lead it 6-3. Fastballs, a strike 1 and 2. Andrew, it seems, getting a little more choosy about picking his spots with that fastball. It's not been all slider, slider, slider lately. Mixing in that fastball a little bit more. There's another one. Bounces it to Escobar at third. Got a hurry. Chu can run, and he beats it out. Chu used to be a really good base stealer back in the old days in Cleveland. Doesn't run nearly as much anymore. That's a base hit.
Really nothing more Escobar could do on that ball right there. Had to wait for the big hop. Got rid of it quickly. Had a lot on the throw, but as you said, Chu still runs pretty good. Got down that line out of the left-handed batter's box just in time to beat the throw.
It's always dangerous to have runners on base in this ballpark. You never know when someone's going to launch one. Yoshi Hirano starts to get loose. He was warming up earlier in the ball game. Rougned Odor, the hitter. He doubled and scored in the 4th, 1 for 3. That's out of play. Odor about 270 versus lefties this year, including 3 homers. So right about at his season average.
Still find it odd that Odor does not wear a t-shirt of any kind underneath his uniform top. Those are kind of scratchy, you know, with all the stitching and the letters and the numbers, and that kind of rubs up against your body if you don't have a t-shirt on underneath the uniform.
Yeah, he's all natural under there. Well, it's Texas. It's hot.
I guess.
Wanted to check on the slider. Chafin ahead 0-2. Can't think of another player that does that. Nobody comes to mind.
No, a lot of guys unbutton a couple buttons of their uniform top, but usually they have a team colored t-shirt on underneath. This is just a macho look here. Go straight to the club.
Left side of the infield wide open against Odor. Sends one to center for John Jay. They've got Hirano warming up. Right hand hitter Elvis Andrews, the hitter. And Torlavelo will bring in Yoshi. We'll take a break from Texas. D-backs lead the Rangers 6-3. 6-3, one out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Fans, did you know you can get $2 concession items at every D-backs home game? Look for the value items logo to get a value hot dog, popcorn, or Pepsi for just $2. Visit dbacks.com/value. We are back home Tuesday and Wednesday to take on the Angels. Albert Pujols and company will be at Chase Field. Then the Mariners next weekend. Come on down.
I'll get myself a $2 corn dog when we get back home.
Sounds like a good call.
Breakfast of champions.
Here's the right-hander Yoshihisa Hirano. A 2.12 ERA. That fastball splitter combination has worked out really well in the U.S. Major Leagues. His 56th appearance. He's got Shin-Soo Choo at first, one out, and the batter is Elvis Andrews. Andrews singled and scored his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Starts him off with a split in the strike zone, 0-1. Yoshi sometimes will leave that splitter in strange places, but far more often than not it works out. It's not always down, down, down like you anticipate it might be. Follows it up with a fastball and jumps ahead 0-2.
That's one thing, though. When Yoshi starts the sequence with a splitter and can throw it for a strike the way he's done in this at bat, that fastball coming after the split finger, it looks a lot quicker than 92. You've seen a floating split finger changeup that comes up there in the low 80s, and then a fastball that's 10 miles an hour faster. It looks a lot quicker than that.
Back to the splitter. All these pitches pretty much in the same location to Andrew. Mike Butcher. Two and two. Rockies are in Houston tonight. Colorado leads the Astros 4-1. They're in the 8th inning. They have home runs from Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story. The Rockies only a game behind the Diamondbacks for the NL West lead. Giants and Dodgers just underway in Los Angeles. San Francisco has a 1-0 lead. Allen Hansen an RBI single. Dodgers also just a game back. Still 2-2. Colorado percentage points ahead of LA for second in the NL West. Giants are 5 games off the pace. Yoshi's got it to second. Marte for 1, and they roll a big double play. Yoshihisa Hirano sends us to the 9th at 6-3 D-backs. On the mound for LA, Alan Hansen. Here's the RBI single we mentioned as Longoria comes in with the first run of the ball game. And the Giants lead at Dodger Stadium 1-0. They're in the third.
You know what that means?
The Dodgers are losing.
Alan Hansen's my new favorite player.
There it is. The Rockies percentage points ahead of LA. Colorado with a fairly healthy lead late in the game at Houston right now. Giants are 5 back. San Diego 17.5 back. Will be at Petco Park starting on Thursday for a 4-game series. Claudio back out there to start the ninth. Here's David Peralta, who so far on his 31st birthday is 0 for 3 with a walk. Oh, and 2. Just misses down and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Squib shot right to Odor at second. Waits to throw Peralta out there. 1 away.
Yeah, David got turned around a little bit trying to get out of the batter's box right there. Odor knew he had more time than normal. Just a little toss over to first for the out there.
Brad Boxberger, the closer, warms up for the bottom of the 9th inning. Rangers will have Profar, Chirinos, and Gallo due up 4, 5, and 6 in the home half of the 9th. Eduardo Escobar 0 for 4. Claudio reaches up and snags it. 2 outs. Claudio.
Despite everything he's got going on in his delivery, he's in real good fielding position once he lets that ball go. Had to go up the ladder that time to take a potential base hit away from Escobar.
Base is empty, 2 down. Steven Souza Jr. is singled and walked. Backs up Profar at third. We head to the home half of the 9th inning. Brad Boxberger on his way in with a 6-3 lead. Our Gila River game summary. Goldie, a first inning home run, is 27th of the year. Diamondbacks have done a good job tacking runs on. They have a 6-3 lead. And Brad Boxberger on to try and lock down a win and salvage a series split here in Texas. Brad is tied for third in the league with 26 saves, a 3.32 ERA. He'll face Jurickson Profar, Robinson Chirinos, and Joey Gallo due up 4, 5, and 6 in the Texas ninth.
The closer for the Mariners. His first name, Edwin Diaz?
Yes. He saves every game.
46 saves.
Yeah, he literally closes every game. I think whether they're winning or losing, it doesn't matter.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Seattle's coming into Chase Field next weekend. Profar had an RBI double his last time up. He also knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly in the fourth.
I heard another interesting note on the Cubbies game today. Our buddy Len Casper reported that the Cubs and Brewers have played 12 times this year. 8 times it's resulted in a shutout for one team or the other. And today the Brewers beat the Cubs. I believe it was 5-0.
Diamondbacks need the Brewers to lose games. Their wild card race, if you don't win the NL West, is going to be awfully close, and Milwaukee's becoming kind of a problem.
It was 7-0 Milwaukee today over the Cubbies.
Yeah, we need Brewer losses. Regardless of what happens within the division, we need Milwaukee to lose. Same with the Phillies or the Braves. 1-1 on Profar. Fastball just off the plate, a ball and 2 strikes. Boxberger trying to save it for Patrick Korbin, who was terrific. Completed 7 innings here tonight. Patrick trying to lock down his 10th win. Fastball way upstairs, 2-2. Chirinos, who homered here last night, on deck. That's a fair ball that gets by Descalso and up the line. Profar digging for second. He's thinking 3. He'll head for third. And he is in there standing up. That's a triple.
Took kind of a squirrely hop down that first baseline. That second bounce up and over the glove of Daniel Descalso. Actually under the glove of Daniel Descalso that time. Gets down into the corner where Steven Souza had some issues with it. Profar ends up with a leadoff triple here in the ninth.
He's doubled and tripled tonight. Here's Chirinos, who had an RBI ground out in the 6th. He's 0 for 3. Chirinos in 18 games since the All-Star break has knocked in 16 runs. Two and 0. Got to be careful here. You've got Gallo and his 31 home runs on deck. Don't want to put the tying run up at the plate with some of these Ranger power hitters.
That's another one of those situations you'll gladly trade the run for an out right here.
Fastball's a strike.
Clean the bases off. Diamondbacks would still have a 2-run lead in the ball game, but nobody on base with 1 out.
Gallo can really launch him if he makes contact. Scoops it into right. Long run for Souza. Coming in. He makes a diving grab. Profar tags and scores just ahead of the throw. They may want to appeal at third. Escobar wants an appeal. Did he leave too soon?
Well, time has been called now. Brad Boxberger will have to get up on the rubber, get his sign from Alex Avila, then step off the rubber and throw to third base to appeal.
Tremendous diving catch. Souza on the dead run coming in from deep right field. So let's see. Boxberger on the rubber as Gallo steps in. And they will appeal to third. Safe at third. He did not leave early. It's 6-4.
Yeah, it was worth a try on those diving attempts. Sometimes the runner, in his haste to get started down that third baseline, will go when he thinks the ball is going to be in the glove. But that time Souza picked it right off the grass.
So it's a 2-run lead. Bases empty, 1 out. Here's Gallo. One more look at the Souza grab. Laying out like the high school wide receiver. Gallo has flied out, struck out twice, 0 for 3. Three D-backs infielders on the first base side against the left-hand batter, way out in front of that changeup. 1-2. I would think that the Boxberger changeup might have the same effect on Gallo as the Korbin slider, as Escobar and Ahmed swap spots with the shift on. 1-2. Avila setting up, down and away again. Dots the fastball. 2 down.
Boy, Alex Avila did a great job of getting outside that pitch and then moving his glove back toward the corner as he was receiving it. Big difference between catching the ball and dragging your glove back to the strike zone and moving your glove as you're catching the ball.
Pitch framing.
Yeah, great job that time.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the catcher, last man standing for Texas. He's singled. He's 1 for 3. Fastball misses. Jody Jackson standing by. D-backs live post-game show brought to you by CenturyLink. Follows our ball game. D-backs trying to earn the split in Texas before it's off to San Diego. There's the strike. 1-1.
Rare slider that time for Brad Boxberger. I don't know if we've seen that one before.
The new twist. Fastball away on 2-1. Well, the Diamondbacks split a 2-game set with Texas at Chase Field at the end of last month. Torey Lovullo and company trying to return the favor here at Globe Life Park. First visit here in 3 years. 2-2. Kiner-Falefa has run it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The dangerous Guzman, who homered last night, on deck. This is trouble. Tying runs at the plate with 2 outs. A dangerous left-hand power hitter.
Now batting the first baseman, Ronald Guzman.
Guzman got up last night, leading off the third against Zach Greinke. His 13th of the year. Tonight he's 0 for 3. Got the changeup, 0-1. Guzman has multiple hits in 3 of his last 4 games, including a 3-homer game at Yankee Stadium. That was last Friday. Willie Calhoun has come out of the on-deck circle. He would hit for DeShields. Low change up that time. A ball and 2 strikes. Once again, Boxberger a strike away. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. No, he just got a piece of it. That got more of Avila.
Just did get a piece of that changeup, fading down low and away.
Ouch.
Side of the left thigh that time for Alex. In a rough 9th inning. He's been clipped a couple times in this inning with foul tips. Another changeup.
There goes Kiner Falefa, and he waves at that one. Avila completes the strikeout, and the D-backs complete the split. Win number 66 on the year as they take the finale here in Dallas, 6-4.
Well, I think this is a really good win. Obviously, it's a good win after losing last night, but just the way they went about their business tonight. They played solid defense, got a great start once again from Patrick Korbin. The bullpen did their job, and the offense was spread out throughout the ball game tonight.
Back to 11 over 500, leading the NL West by 1 game over the Dodgers and the Rockies. Colorado winning at Houston right now. The Dodgers are trailing at home against the Giants. When we come back from Globe Life Park, it's D-backs Live, brought to you by CenturyLink. Jody Jackson down on the field. Player interviews. You'll hear from Torey Lovullo after the D-backs win here in Texas. More from Arlington right after this.